Hello guys, what's up? Today we would be learning about burp suit. So burp suit में जो हम पहले टैब्स मैंने अभी यहाँ कम्युनिटी एडिशन है, मैं फिर से एक बार सेटअप करके दिखा देता हूँ आपको। अभी मैं अपनी काली चला रहा हूँ। सबसे पहले हमने यहाँ से वर्ब सूट खोला एंड लेट इट रन। वर्ब सूट GRE बेस्ड है, यानी कि जावा बेस्ड है, तो किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता कि लिनक्स पे चला रहे हैं आप या फिर विंडोज़ पे चला रहे हैं, तो सब पे सेम ही चलता है। तो यहाँ वर्ब सूट आ गया है और कम्युनिटी एडिशन में अपडेट आपका मन है तो करें, वरना क्लोज। ऑल्सो टेम्प्रेरी प्रोजेक्ट मिलता है कम्युनिटी एडिशन में, तो उससे भी कुछ फ़र्क खास नहीं पड़ता और डिफ़ॉल्ट से ही चला लेते हैं अपना। तो प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट हो रहा है, इतने टारगेट ले लेते हैं अपना जो रहेगा test php.wallenhub.com. Try, this is the link, I guess. Let's see. So these are the tabs. We are dashboard, target, proxy, intruder, repeater, sequencer, decoder, compare, extender, project options, user options. So dashboard, for like complete basics, dashboard is like where you see everything. But if you are using a community edition, I don't think there would be much you would be able to see here, except from event log. However, it does not mean anything for beginners like us. So here we have the target. So this is like very useful if you use it right. However, if you ignore it and just directly go to the proxy, you would get a lot of noise here, like background packets or the packets sent by Firefox or your browser. So if you use target right, so you would not be getting anything. Okay, it is wallenweb.com and I was entering wallenhub.com. So here we are. So here we are on the target, and then we have the proxy. And the first, this is the basic for the first time. You just see on what interface you are running the burp. So I am here on 127.10.0.1, which is the local host, and then the port is 8080. So we would be going into your browser, and if you are using Mozilla Firefox like I am using, so go into preferences and then search for XY, which is short for proxy, and this just works right here. And then use this manual proxy configurations, and please make note of these. So the IP would be here localhost, then the port and SOX4, and that's most of it. You could also try this option. It works for some sites, it does not work from certain sites. So please make sure what works for you or the target you are trying to gather information or trying to attack. So I'm unchecking this. So I just set up the proxy and now I'm trying to reload it, and you can see we have our first intercept right here. So here is the request which our host is php.wallenhub sent. So let's try to zoom this if I am able to. Okay, so it does not work like that. So here it is. So you can't particularly zoom this, but you can go into user options and then somewhere down or here display, you could change the font size. Let's try 13. But it will take effect when burp is restarted, so you could try and do what fits you. So let's just read about here, and this is particularly it. And then if you have go to the target side, and we would just forward it to make sure it goes, and here you can see in the target you see this website, and here the crawler is working. Crawler is like a dirbuster. It goes and checks for all the directories you could see inside this file by clicking all these links, and going again on those links. So you could just see all the host and the URLs right here. So to do one thing to avoid let's just forward this as well. So to avoid the unnecessary messages sent by Firefox, we would be doing one thing. We would just right click this and see add to scope. You have added an atom to yes. Logging out of is disabled. We don't want out of scope proxy traffic like data sent by Firefox or data sent by extensions you have loaded in. So that would just work fine and there won't be any noise right here. So here we are. Let's just go on home and then again you open up and here you could see the request being sent by test.php.1 and it is also asking for flash. You just forward that as well. So here we are, like just let's go back. We have just intercepted off and we will try to log in. Okay, here is the sign up. Please enter your login information. So sign up is disabled. Please use the username test and test password to log in. However, we would be doing something else, and that is try to log in via admin. So test would be a user and then we would just okay. So here we got our admin and here you could see the request right here. So you could either read this and try to change it for once if you want to here to just change any parameter here, or you could just double click and send to repeater, or you could just control R to send to repeater or intruder or wherever you feel like. So if you don't want to, like if you want to repeat something and try something, like just send admin and try. So here we have found 302, which means these usernames does not work and we have found an incorrect. So we would try like just enter test and try and send these, and okay, we get a 200, which means okay, and here we have logged in. So this way you could try something manually and then you could try and go to the intruder. So let's send this request to intruder. So here we have this request in the intruder on position 2. So target and port, and then we go to the position. So here we have our positions, that username and password. So these are the positions which we want to attack on. Now to this is kind of a, you know, you can say, what you want to say, like brute force attack. So there are types of brute forces. Then there are sniper, battering ram, pitchfork and cluster bomb. So sniper works like this. It changes same credentials for for username and password. Like if you enter a list for usernames and then a list for passwords, it would correspondingly add +1 to both of these lists and then just enter those. And then there is battering ram. It works like it's similar to sniper, what sniper does. Then there's pitchfork, it does selective. And then there's cluster bomb, which is it sets one payload right here, then goes entire list for the second payload, then adds one and then goes entire list for the pass again, then adds like the goes to the third username and then passes the entire password list again. So these are some of the types of attacks. And let's just try sniper. Then we would go to payload and just you could either load from a list, and adding from a list is available only in the pro mode, or you could go like test. Test 1, test 2. So just like so just these are for the list 1. So it works like this, that sniper does is same credential for both of these. So if you have entered, it would take a single list and then try like admin password 123 and similar for both of these. So this is about sniper. Then if you go to cluster bomb, then you would require 2 payload sets. So one is for the first one and then the second, and you would write try like password test and add one. So these are for the second one. Now these are, you could use like if you want to just set up 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 like a numerical, if you are like trying to brute force an OTP based login parameter, so you could just like position 1 and then so here you could just set up like the characters, then the main length, or like for the OTP all we have is numbers, the minimum length, the maximum length. So it just created a request count and payload, so it automatically would be attacking the file. So this is how it works. Bitflipper and various other types of, you could just go online and check about all of these. For now we would be using a simple list. So payload count gets to 3 and request count to 9, which is 3 for this and 3 for that. So this is how cluster bomb works. Like it would try the first username and then from list 1 and then go about all the possible values in the 2, and let's just pause before retry. Let's just reduce it to the main value possible, start time here, and just start attack. Okay, so here we are working. It works slow in the community edition, but if you are using the Larry Love based burp suite, this would be much faster. So here is the payload. The first payload it enters is a null payload, then it goes about test, which was the first. So it works oppositely, like I was thinking about loading the first payload 1 and then going about payload 2, but it worked opposite, like it logged payload 2 and then went through payload 1. So it is one of the like similar things. Here you could see the status 200, which means this combination worked, and the length you could like sort these if you have a lot of like requests, so you could just sort them on length or by status to know which one actually worked and which one did not. So this is how it works, and this is the then you could see the particular request which was sent for this payload, and then you could also check the response right here in like raw or HTML, or you could render it to see. If you are trying to get XSS, this would not like show you right here, it would go to the render, and I guess it is rendering somewhere where it went for the render. The render is not working for now. So it is how intruder work. Now sequencer is something which I don't think you would be using very much, because I have never used it, I never felt the need. However, what it does is analyzes cookies and then tries if the cookies are being repeated, or there is a particular algorithm which it could analyze about cookies, which it could decode, and then you could supply you with a cookie which you could try to get login. So this is how sequencer works. And then there is decoder. It works like CyberChef. You just paste in a hash or something similar to it and try to smart decode it, and then it just decodes it like URL or whatever you try to enter. Or smart decode does that magic wand thing about the CyberChef. It just automatically tries to decode. For example, let's go to day 64. Encode.org. Because we still have our previous request pending, hence the second one, this request right here was not getting passed. So we are here, and let's just encode something like default rocks. You could just encode it. And here's the encoded thing, you just copy it go to burp. For example, this is what you got as a cookie. Just paste it here and then smart decode it. Smart decode it. Please smart decode it. Okay, did not. Decode is 64 and here you get your answer. So this is how these things work. And you could also, like, if you are creating a SQL inject payload, so for example, like if you go like select space, like the command I just entered right here. So if you want to do these spaces, you could just like this and then encode as URL, and you would get this encoded string. If this thing does not work, what it does is encodes this into hexadecimal, and then you could just send it over for testing. So this is how decoder works. Then comparer is like running the difference command in Linux. It's just differences data particular, like you could just load in an entire file and then just try to compare on words or bytes, and this works fine. Now there are extensions which you could load. There are a lot of extensions which you could load, which for like getting about into bug bounty and getting low hanging fruits like XSS or IDORs, or like yeah, I mostly IDORs I've worked with in burp extensions. There are extensions which you could find online, and I do not have particularly included anything in this one, but there are these all, like popularity wise you could just sort them. So these one are the active scans, and like these are various scanners, and CSRF scanner you could search if the CSRF could be passively scanned or could be bypassed. So these are the but these are for Burpsuite Professional. If you have the Laravel, I think it works. So these are how it works, or you could just get this one like Turbo Intruder, and I think it is for free. So this is how it works. So you could try Extender, and then there are project options and user options. It is mainly for like setting up Tor or similar things. So this is what it is about. So I think that is all for basic Burpsuite. So you could just I would just complete this by concluding it. So what you did want to for starters, it go to option in proxy tab, check what your interface is, go into like preferences, then your proxy settings, do this same. Also I forgot about one thing, is in storing the CS certificate. Like you could either do it like manually from here, certificate in DER or private key in DER format, then next and store it, or you could do something like perp or dot CS cert, something like that. That is a similar command I just installing in the browser. We have Firefox. So if you want to insert the install the burp certificate on a mobile device, for example, if you are doing Android pen testing or Windows pen testing, or you are trying to hack Instagram somehow, I don't know, just like, so you could just set up just by reading these right here. For example, for currently we will just go to, so this is the file. Let's see if we reach this. Okay, so here you have to enter http:/burp and just click on CS certificate, and it would save file, and you just, that's all you have to, and then you would go to preferences, and then you would go to certificate, and then view certificates, and then import, and wherever you downloaded that CS certificate, you just click on that and open it, and it would get installed in your browser. So this is how you have to install the certificate. That is one time thing, and you do not require it every time. So you just install the certificate, then you go to your website with the turn on the intercept, reload it, and then you would get up the request right here, forward it, go to your target and see the website you just ran, right click on it and add to scope right here, and then it would just scroll about it. You could see all the files like right here. If you have user info, guestbook and various other files, you could find a robots.txt and various things. So just check if some data is being leaked right here. Could go on Indian government sites and try if you can see something right here, or you could just set up something. Who knows, you would get an appreciation from NCIIPC. And then this is scope. Then you could go to proxy, and then the intruder for brute forcing logins, and then repeater if you want to custom edit something like upgrade in secure request, or like just update it to get to post and then send it. Logins in the various login, like just logged in from post but is not from gate. So you could try various things, right? Repeater, sequencer, this one. Okay, so it starts capturing files. There's nothing much to add into this cookie right here, so it is not getting much in the sequencer. So but if you have an hash kind of thing, so it flips bits and it changes various things to get something, and it just tries to get anything, and then you could probably get something like after capturing around 5,000 to 10,000 packets, it just captures in like 10 minutes. So after that you could analyze them and try if you get something. And then this was decoder to decode things right here, or encode things, your SQL queries, your base64 hashes, or your cookie values. And then there is comparer, extender to add extensions, and these works like a charm if you find the right one and know how to use it. Then there are project options, you don't probably need these, and then user options to customize as per your requirement, like set up hotkeys or various different things. So this is how Burp Suite works for the basic, and I think you understood what all I was taught. And if you have any questions, please either comment them or join our Discord, which the link has been given in the description, and message us right there. Okay, thank you guys for watching.